Hello. I literally already recorded this one time and made it so far to the end, and my storage on my phone is gone. I need to delete text messages. That's the biggest thing, is text messages that are taking up so much storage. And I'm a hoarder. I like memories, but I need to delete more. It's all the pictures that I send back and forth or send with people take up so much room. And then, yeah. Anyway, I want to make this as short as I can. To make it short, it was also like the last one was 36 minutes, and I'm like, it doesn't need to be that long. Anyway, today's Tuesday, February 11th. This video is about Sunday, February 9th, when I went to see the Miranda Sing show at the Plaza Live in Orlando. Yeah, so I purchased with my friend a VIP ticket that included a meet and greet and a photo with Colleen. We bought them back in September. When we got them, we did it like separately, so we actually did not get seats next to each other, but we didn't really worry about it at the time. Wasn't that big of a deal. Like, we were like, oh, we'll worry about it when we get to it. So that was in September. Tickets were like about $100. I was like, and so like when I knew she was coming here, I was like, I'm just gonna buy a VIP. I wouldn't want to buy it without a VIP, and that's just my own personal opinion. So that's what I did. And fast forward September, October, November, December, January, I was looking forward to it for so long. And then a few days before, I was getting worried about, like, did I actually have VIP? Like, what was going on? And because I didn't get any information, and I looked at my ticket and like my email from purchasing it, and it didn't specify anything. And then I downloaded the AXS app to see my ticket, and everything's like, oh, regular ticket, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up calling and like seeing what was up, and it just shows as a regular ticket, but it is a VIP ticket. So that was weird, but it didn't really matter, because a couple days later, I got an email from AXS about my VIP ticket and what's gonna go on. This is the like schedule that they send you for the VIP. So like check-in, meet and greet. This is everything. They send you everything about the photo and the meet and greet and everything. So that's what I got. So my friend and I arrived about 3-ish, so we had time to wait outside in the parking lot. And we were like, okay, we're gonna hop in line, because there was a line. We're gonna hop in line at like 3:30-ish. We knew it didn't really matter, because it's such a small like group for VIP. Like everyone was gonna get there. We're all listening to the same thing, whatever. So 3:30 rolls around, we get in line, and nothing was happening. And 3:40, 3:45, closer to 4 o'clock, we finally, like, they start checking bags and stuff. Well, even a little before that, there's this woman that like was explaining what was gonna happen, what was allowed in, what wasn't, blah blah blah. Finally, closer to 4, we get our bags checked, and they give us this. So like, I'm dumb. So they gave you that at the door. So that was pretty cool, actually, just to get that. And we get let in. Everyone goes in the theater pretty quickly, actually. There was no assigned seats during the meet and greet, which makes sense because like everyone just wants to be like as close to the front as possible and all this. So it's like about 4, maybe even a little past 4, Corey comes on and he explains what's gonna go on with the Q&A, the photo, and everything like that. And then she comes on like a little past 4 o'clock. So already at this point, like we haven't been let in until about 4, and then the Q&A didn't start until a little after 4. So take with that what you will, but that's how it went. And there was about a 15-minute Q&A. She answered maybe 10 to 15 questions. I didn't really have a question. I wanted to ask something, but I didn't like, I don't know. I didn't really care that much. Like, you know, it's like you know so much about her, I guess, as weird as it sounds. But yeah. So she answered maybe 10 to 15 questions. And then after that was the photo portion, and they were pretty strict about the photos. It was basically like one person gets 2 photos taken. Andrew, her cousin, is taking them like on a nice camera, and if you're with other people, they can give up their photos for you to take more photos. So, and they are pretty strict when it comes to that. Maybe it's different for each city, but that's how it worked. And you couldn't have anything in your hands. You couldn't bring anything up. No props. No like inappropriate stuff. It's just like stuff that had to be said for her safety and all that. Understandable. But yeah, so there was also a gentleman like taking bags from one side to the other side of the stage. They did it by row, so the first row went up to the stairs, and then the second row and the third row, and then maybe like a little, one half of the way in, people started doing a lot of people did one picture, a normal picture, and then like a Miranda picture. And then people started doing like one picture, and then they would want Rachel and Corey and Eric to be in the other picture. So that's what a lot of people started doing, especially if they had like a parent who was sacrificing their photo. So yeah, but mine turned out like this. They were okay. I mean, this one is good. And then that was my Miranda one. It's so bad. I'm like, well, she looks fine, obviously, but so that was mine. I low-key regret not like having a group one with the rest, but it's okay. So then we walked out after that, and we went back into the lobby. The lobby was open, the bar was open, the merch was open, but there was no re-entry. You could walk out, but if you went out, you had to get back in line, like with all the general admission. So that was like a little frustrating, but is what it is. I guess I know it's for safety and all that, so it's okay. And then the merch table was open, and I had been wondering for so long, like, if they were going to be doing the golden ticket thing that she explained a while back, where if you buy merch, there could be a golden ticket inside of it, and if you get the golden ticket, you get to go on stage during the show. She mentioned that a long time in the beginning of her tour, but nothing after. And no one knew about it. And no one seemed to have any information. So I assumed it just wasn't happening, so I left it at that. But that was kind of another bummer that I didn't know if it was happening or not, because it would have been cool. I wanted to buy a shirt, but then, like, I also didn't. The Just Girly Thing shirt was cute. That's probably the one I would have gotten if I got anything. But yeah. So the bar was open. People were standing around having drinks. There were chips in the theater. This is just a theater-specific thing, but, like, Plaza Live does not have any good food options, which makes sense. I mean, I know it's a theater, but still, I mean, I don't know. So that was kind of annoying. I was hungry. But at some point, they started letting VIP back into the theater. And so a lot of people went back into the theater. And then by this time, it was a little closer to 6 o'clock. But then all of a sudden, they were like, hey guys, we need everyone to leave. We need to do a sound check. And we were like, what? Like, a sound check? Because there was a whole point when the VIP people were not in the theater at all after the meet and greet, when they were setting up the stage, and you would think they would do a sound check then, but I guess not, or something. So that was kind of weird. We had to leave the theater and go back out, and so people had formed a line to get back in, and at that point, I, like, got in line for the bar, and then I actually hopped out of line real quick because I saw a YouTuber on here, a DCP vlogger, Miss Shelby was there. So I've met her a few times, but she's really sweet. So I talked to her and her friend Madeline. And then at that point, they were letting back into the theater, so people were going back in. I wanted to grab a drink real quick. So when I was about to get my drink, my friend that I was with texted me and was like, people are in our seats. Like, people are in our seats, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? And she's like, come back, where are you? And I was so confused. So I got my drink, went back in, everything was fine. So they explained, I guess, that people had bought tickets at the box office and given them our seats or something, which is really weird, but it got taken care of. Anyway, and so my friend and I got to sit next to each other because coincidentally, while we were waiting in line to get into the meet and greet and everything, the two girls in front of us in line, we started talking and stuff like that, and their seats ended up being the ones right next to us, which was so, like, such a coincidence. So we were like, oh yeah, like, can we, like, all sit next to each other, blah blah. They were like, oh yeah. So that worked out really well. So we ended up being able to sit next to each other, and so and it was about 7 at that point, basically 7, and 7 o'clock, show didn't start, and then finally 7:14, I believe, the show started, like, actually started. And I won't go too much into the show, but basically the premise is she's looking for someone to take her baby, like a mom and a dad for her baby, and she's using the audience, like, to see who can take her baby. She uses a couple dads in the audience throughout the show, and a little girl as well, to see who can be the mommy and be the daddy. So it was cool, like the participation with the audience and stuff. But she starts out as Miranda, and there's songs and like jokes and stuff, and it was funny. She broke like one or two times, especially with the dad that she asked up on stage. So that was funny. And yeah, so halfway through, she turns into Colleen and does Colleen and says some jokes and, sings some songs. Corey and Andrew come out for a little bit of it. But during it all, there's obviously like a bunch of cheering and like people yelling and screaming as normal. So my friend and I were obviously yelling and screaming and cheering. And in front of us, there was this mother, and she was there with her two girls. And her two girls seemed like, they were younger, obviously, but like they seemed like they were enjoying it and having fun and cheering as well. But so were me and my friend. And then at one point, it was, I think, still during Miranda, probably, the mom like turns around to us and just goes, "Hey, my girls have a headache. Can you stop yelling and screaming?" And we were like, "Girl, what? Like, you're at a show. Like, everyone around is screaming and yelling. Like, yeah, maybe she heard ours a little more because we're right behind. But, like, if your girl is going to get a headache from yelling and screaming, why do you bring her here?" So we were taken back by that. And then 5 to 10 minutes go by, and she gets up and leaves her little girls in their seat by themselves and goes out and then comes back in, and like, I don't know if there were cops inside there or if it was just security or something, but she brings security and like an usher or whatever. I swear the guy looked like a cop, but she brings them in there next to us to watch, like to have them watch me and my friend. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what? So that was really weird. Yeah. But then, of course, like, the cop is laughing and stuff and, like, enjoying it. And I was still screaming and yelling, like, and cheering, but maybe not as loud. But like, also, that's, like, that's not illegal. Like, it was just so weird that happened. So that was weird. But then all of a sudden, it's like the show was over. So it felt like it went by really quickly. So it started at 7:14, 7:15, and I looked when it ended, it was 8:20, like 2 or something. So it was just over an hour show. So it felt like it went by really quickly. But but on top of like the whole other situation with that, it reminded me, or it made me think, like, this show itself can kind of be like inappropriate. Like, there were some inappropriate like parts to it and inappropriate words and stuff like that. You know, she's using the word porn and stuff like that. And like, it's not super, super duper appropriate. Even though she has a younger fan base. Maybe like parents don't care, or maybe like she knows they're not gonna understand it or something, but it's a PG-13. It's not rated G or PG even. It's PG-13. I mean, some could probably argue PG, but I don't know, if you're using the word porn and stuff, which is totally fine. Like, me and my friend were probably like some of the oldest people there that were parents. Like, I'm 28, and that, like, which is fine. Anyone can be a fan of her, but anyway, yeah. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. It was funny. It was great. It was, you know, it had like a story to it, and she made it work. She had good songs, obviously, and good jokes as well. I think sometimes she kind of caters her jokes to what city she's in, so that was funny and interesting, being like living in Orlando and working at Disney. So that was cool. And yeah, but it went by really quickly. Just felt really quick. And then after that, it was over. So, like, overall, like, all things said and done, like, I do it again in a heartbeat, obviously, but there were certain things throughout the night that made it, like getting let in late, Q&A starting late, having to leave the theater, like, already in, and then the show starting late. I know a lot of work goes into events like this. It takes so many people, so much time and effort, and they do so great with all of it. But they also do it over and over again. So, like, they're basically like a well-oiled machine when they are doing shows. So, but again, with that said, every theater is different. Every theater operates different. Every city operates different. So you have to, like, I don't know. It's annoying in the moment when stuff like that happens, but you have to take a step back and, like, understand where all of it's coming from, because it's such a big event and you have so many people with you and so many things could go wrong, or, like, there are so many different factors that could make something go wrong. So it's understandable. Not everything is going to be perfect. It's not like a Broadway play where, I mean, like, it's not like a Broadway play, like Waitress or whatnot, where, you know, things are probably gonna, I mean, like, held to a higher standard. Not that I'm not holding her to a high standard, but, you know, I hope that makes sense. But overall, like, would do again, 10 out of 10, 100%. Everything's gonna have minor flaws. It's the show business. Can't hold it against them. So, yeah. Colleen is a wonderful person. I'm so glad she does this. I'm so glad she enjoys it. Rachel and Eric and Corey and Andrew seem like wonderful people in person, not only on the vlogs. I was able to, you know, chit-chat with Eric and Rachel just about Disney, since I work there and stuff, and ask them about that. So that was really, really cool to be able to do that, to be able to chat with them. They were amazing. So, yeah. Anyway, this one is shorter than the last one. I still think I got almost everything. Oh, so the other thing was also the merch thing, which, no idea. So, again, flaws, but understandable, especially, like, I'm coming from working at Disney in customer service, and I know this is, like, more show event related, but I've also studied the events realm, so I understand, I understand, but it's just know that stuff can possibly go wrong. Just yeah. Which is fine. Anyway, I'm over justifying my thoughts, but all in all, like, of course, 10 out of 10 would recommend anyone going. I recommend getting a VIP ticket. That's just me. I don't know if they were cheaper depending on your city or not, but yeah, would recommend VIP. Yeah. Anyway, it was so good to meet her. I'm so glad I did it. I hope they come back to Orlando. Oh, my nose. Hope they come back. Hope I can do it again. I'd be interested to see what it's like in a different venue as well. I want, like, it would be cool if it were somewhere else. Like, how cool would it be if she was in, like, Dr. Phillips Center for Performing Arts? Like, oh my gosh. That would be freaking amazing. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've been to a show, let me know how you liked it. Let me know if you had similar experiences at one of her shows. And if you are going to a show in the future, just know it's going to be amazing no matter what. Try not to think too much into the small details or, you know, about, you know, whatever. But just know it's going to be amazing. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'll put down below if I had anything, but I'm so happy I was able to go. It was so amazing. Thank you, Colleen. I know you're not watching this. But yes, just girly things. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think I feel like I have something more to say, but like I don't. But like I want to say every specific detail, but I know I can't because my memory. But thank you for watching. Comment below. Let me know how you liked your show. Let me know if you're going to a show. Let me know if you've met her. So many people have met her by now. But anyway, thank you. I'll talk to you later. All right. Y'all have a good one. And bye.